Well, my special guest in the studio is Simon Breed, hot off the aeroplane. 2 hours off the aeroplane.
Yeah, hot, moist, and slightly mentally liquid. So.
I was asking you if you got the bulkhead because you're around about 8'5" or something.
Yeah, you know,
At
a
last
few
estimate.
inches short of that. Yeah.
But you were lucky enough to get like a row to yourself.
Yeah,
a plane.
I had 4 seats to myself. Probably just, I don't know. Maybe it was due to body odour or bad English manners. But yeah, I had space, and I'm delighted to be here.
Oh, you didn't mention that you nudged some people out of those chairs.
Yeah.
It's fantastic to have you here, and very kind of you to come in like hot off the aeroplane. For people who don't know the Simon Breed story, I guess you were originally in a 90s outfit called The Breed, or not The Breeders, as they said on your little write-up. But
yeah,
The Breed.
Breed.
And
there was no definitive article. It was Breed. You were Breed.
You sat kind of musically between, just to put you in perspective for people, Tinder Sticks and they say Gallon Drunk. So
that's probably a good shorthand. I mean that we weren't as plagiaristic as that sounds, but that's a nice kind of. There was a little group of us who seemed to have common aesthetic, and yeah, that is where we got lumped in.
Mm-hmm. And which means, of course, that you were influenced by great Australian bands like the Bad Seeds and the Triffids.
Yes, we were very much. I mean, it was funny. We were on. There were a group of great little independent labels: Too Pure, Ouija, Clawfist, and they kind of formed a little cartel together. And it was also the time of Riot Girl, and in the midst of kind of fanzine, do-it-yourself ethos. As lots of reviews put it, there was a bunch of Scousers who loudly laying claim to the finest music from Melbourne and Perth, and the fact that it was anomalous, I think, won over lots of hearts. But yeah, that was the music we loved. This was
presumably pre kind of download for free music. So how easy was it to get hold of vinyl, Australian vinyl?
Very easy, because the bands that we loved were, to be honest, were on the covers of the music papers, even if they weren't selling the records.
Yep.
And we were hip little guys, so.
So you just popped to Rough Trade or something like that. And, yeah, excellent. And of course, you're out here for to play with the Triffids. The band, the Triffids, and to perform in the place of the great David McComb.
Yeah, well, I'm one of a few,
yep.
lucky singers.
Who else we got? Rob Snarski's doing it.
And Mick Harvey is singing as well. So.
Which will be a great company to keep.
Absolutely, fine bunch of men. No, it's an extraordinary thing, in the true sense of extraordinary. It's difficult too, because it's something you love, and it's a task that you have to do well. You have to be quite humble, and at the same time you have to be very open, and you have to give it your all. Mm-hmm. And I met Dave a few times, but I wasn't a friend of his. But I would like to think I will absolutely. What I can bring to it is an intensity of a fan's perspective, I think.
How did you come about getting involved in this project?
I think years ago I wrote a grovelling little email to the mighty Mr. Graham Lee saying, "Please, Graham, I always loved Dave McComb and I could do this." And I think Mick Harvey might have suggested that you should get Simon, or you don't know what you're doing, kind of thing. So by hook or by crook, I got in there.
You did that accent very well, actually.
Sorry, I shouldn't have done that.
Racist.
No, it's not that.
You really
I love
Mick
it dearly.
And of course, there's a show at Powerhouse in Sydney. Has that happened yet? That's coming up.
Isn't it Powerhouse Brisbane first? Is that right? Oh my goodness,
I don't even know if there's more than one Powerhouse.
It's the home bake in Sydney.
Right. And here for the Queenscliff Music Festival.
So Triffids are on Saturday, and I've got a set of my own on the Sunday, which I think it's one of the earlier ones in the Grand View, or the View Grand is the venue. Mm-hmm. So if anyone could make it along, just to make a decrepit Englishman feel slightly wanted, that would be great. And I'll try not to upset them too much with my songs of filth.
Talk about both acts with the Triffids. Said they're doing Born Sandy Devotional in its entirety, plus all the well-known tracks and others besides. Will that be the general set list for each show? People can expect that at the Queenscliff Festival as well?
I think at every show there's going to be Born Sandy Devotional from Goa to Woa, with additional. And the first two shows, the Brisbane and the Queenscliff, are the full. It's a show that I think when we did it at the Barbican in London, it was called A Secret in the Shape of a Song. So it's a kind of it's as broad and open-hearted tribute to Dave's McComb songs as possible. So it takes in the best of everything that he did. So it's a really, it's rather than it being a slightly mawkish tribute, it's a lovely way to kind of bring out to show the great palette of his work and to enjoy it in all its aspects.
A celebration.
And bring in new singers.
Yep.
It's not all old duffers like me. There's lots of other. Oh, there I go. Sorry, self-deprecation. I can't help it. but there's a wide range of people kind of bringing what they loved to it. So it's quite a wonderful thing, actually.
And in terms of your solo performance, you'll be drawing from a new LP. How long has that been out for?
Well, I have two albums that, if you're very clever and very dedicated, you can hunt down.
Right.
The last one was out a couple of years ago now, and I've got lots more stuff partially recorded and ready to go, but it's not released. There are a couple of songs I want to get out in time, but I've been struggling, Governor. It's tough in London.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, but lots of people want them. It's just that the usual thing. I'm probably just gonna put them up online free because that's fine. If that then brings people to the gigs, then so be it.
And musically, compared to the band dynamic, how's it been like being a solo performer? Or is it mostly just you and a guitar?
Well, I've always had a little unit of people that I like to play with. My feeling is I do more interesting stuff now than I did with Breed. From my perspective, and it tends. It's what can I say? I mean, when Breed stopped, I just carried on. So I don't really notice any difference.
Okay.
In that sense.
Lovely to have you here, Simon.
Thanks very much
for coming in.